This video is sponsored by Shadowverse Evolve. The second Shadowverse Evolve English Edition set, Reign of Bahamut, is coming out soon, which means it's the perfect time for new players to get into the game. Here's a beginner-friendly deck for each of the 6 classes. This Tempo Forestcraft deck turns the Fairy and Fairy Wisp tokens that you generate, which are not very powerful by themselves, into incredibly useful tools. The Evolve effect of Elven Princess Mage puts 2 0-cost Fairy Wisps into your EX area, which enables your Rhinoceros to deal some damage. Blessed Fairy Dancer and Titania Sanctuary buff up your tokens to the point where they become formidable followers that you can trade with, especially with the Assail effect granted by the latter that lets them attack even reserved enemy followers. In terms of new set 2 cards to highlight, Elf Knight Cynthia is a big mid-game tempo swing that pairs very well with your cards that add tokens into your EX area, of which there are many. She has Rush, so she can run into an engaged follower right away. And on strike, she banishes a card from your EX area to deal 2 damage to an enemy and summon 2 fairies. That is stonks. Meanwhile, Crystalia Lily shores up your card draw with her fanfare effect, while her evolve effect is virtually an unconditional removal tool. Royal Banner Aggro Swordcraft is a deck that's easy to wrap your head around as a beginner, and it's also really good. With the aforementioned amulet, each of your Swordcraft followers gets stronger, and Swordcraft is really good at summoning Swordcraft followers. Looking at you, Floral Fencer and Alwaida's Command. From Reign of Bahamut, Amelia Silver Paladin is a great flexible card that can help you flood the board or remove a threat on fanfare, providing you with a tempo swing either way. Avant Blader is amazing card draw for only an evolve cost of 1, and the flashiest new addition, Leonidas, summons a Leonidas' Resolve after his evolve form is destroyed, which gives your Swordcraft followers even more stats. Control the pace of the game, set up your buffer amulet, and then finish with storm followers like Novice Trooper or Subaki. Spellchain Runecraft gets some fun new toys this set. If you weren't aware, the goal is to get many spell cards into your cemetery to fuel your spellchain effects, particularly your finishers Mithril Golem and Runeblade Summoner. To get to that point, most of your spells are draw or removal tools. So the addition of Rime Wind and Witch Bolt from this set, both of which are low cost and efficient removal spells, is very welcome. On top of that, we also have Craig Wizard of Mysteria. Both his fanfare and evolve effects discard a card to draw a card. As you've probably already guessed, this is great for Spellchain because you can put spell cards from your hand into your cemetery to cycle them without paying their cost. Not to mention, his evolve is cheap too. With Dragoncraft, the goal is to ramp, or to increase your maximum play point total faster than natural, so that you can play your massive late game followers faster. To that end, cards like Dragon Oracle and Ayala Dragon Knight are crucial so that you can land Dark Dragoon Forte, Fafnir, and Genesis Dragon quickly. Facing them down with these massive storm and removal bodies, you then hopefully take the win over your opponent. Thing is, your ramp cards tend to be low tempo, so let's fix that with some new set 2 cards, namely Mushusu and Siegfried. Mushusu gets stronger every time you evolve a follower, so even as a 2-drop, it becomes a priority target for your opponent to deal with lest they take a massive swing to the face, which gives you breathing room to ramp. On the other end, Siegfried is another mid-game board control option alongside Dragon Warrior, able to deal 2 damage to an enemy follower on fanfare, and then on evolve, destroying an enemy follower with 3 defense or less. 1 proactive tool and 1 reactive tool to give you the space you need to lead into your endgame. Aggro Abysscraft benefits a lot from this set, particularly if you're a fan of summoning forest bats. Vite, Vampire Noble, summons a bat on strike and puts one into your EX area on evolve. So that's 2 already. His sister, Vania Vampire Princess, gets stronger with each bat you have on field, with the additional power to spend a play point to sacrifice a bat to deal 3 to an enemy follower and 1 to face. You can draw these cards and summon even more bats with Vampiric Fortress, then summon more bats or buff your bats with Precious Bloodfangs. Your opponent will be facing down an absolute swarm that you can overwhelm them with. On the other side of the coin, Control Havencraft gains massively with Reign of Bahamut, namely in its new top-end finisher, Heavenly Aegis. This massive body is nigh unanswerable, so as long as you can live long enough to land it, you can win the game. Many removal tools from set 1 that were essential are still essential, such as Themis Decree and Jeanne d'Arc. And from set 2, we have the highly efficient removal tool Surefire Bullet, dealing 3 damage or 4 if the target is evolved at quick speed for 2 play points, and Radiance Angel, a source of ward, card draw, and healing. All things you need for this deck to reach the late game. Of course, there are more complicated and dangerous builds that you can work towards from here, but if you or your friend is a new player, I hope this was helpful as as a starting point for decks that are simple to pick up and understand. Thanks for watching!